and welcome to GeoBiz. We are here at the Bentley Year in Infrastructure 2015 conference. I'm honored to speak with Peter Blake, who has received the Lifetime Achievement Award at this conference. Peter has been working in the construction infrastructure sectors as a part of Hatch for the past 40 years and has been a visionary in using the latest technologies all the while. So let us understand what is the inspiration behind his work. Thank you, Peter. Thanks for the opportunity. And Hari, congratulations on receiving this award. How does that feel?
Well, thank you very much. It's humbling, quite frankly. You really never appreciate while you're going through your career the effect that you're having on others. You're just trying to do your best. And in my particular case, yesterday evening, first of all, I was surprised to learn last week that I would be receiving the award, and then there were a flood of emotions, chiefly humility, I think, and gratitude followed quickly thereafter.
You're associated with Hatch, which is a consulting firm for the past 40 years. I'm sure it's very difficult for you to explain your entire experience, but how has, can you share one experience in your association with Hatch that really impacted you as a professional?
Well, I was always passionate about engineering, and since the age of 12, I knew that that was my vocation in life. And you know, one of the things that I realize now is not everybody is blessed to know what to do with their life. So that's already a gift. You have to be grateful for that. And from that age, that early age, I was on a mission to become the best possible engineer I could. One thing that sticks in my mind right now was about 1982. The fellow that had hired me, also a respected professional, told me that we had to continually reduce the costs of our services. We had to become more productive. Mm-hmm. And I had a pretty vigorous discussion with him at the time. I was insistent that it couldn't be done. And then I went away, and as so often is the case, I thought about it and my position on it. And then I accepted the challenge about how we could get more done in less time. And what you really have to do is you have to start thinking at higher levels and understanding why you're doing things and what really is needed. And as that happens, as you start to reflect on that, a path usually comes forward. And in this case, we were doing drawings at the time for 120 hours per drawing. Today we do those drawings for 40 or 50 hours. So there's been a big improvement there, and the only way forward was to change the way we do things and to use technology.
That has really triggered you to use the latest technologies all through them.
That's correct. And today, that was back in the 1980s. Today, what you start to realize is it's about building and it's about maintaining and operating. It's not about making the drawings, it's about the data. And I was explaining earlier, engineering is really about organizing to meet the needs of society. And in the near future, I think what you're going to find is everything is going to be located by geoposition. And that's the way people that operate plants and maintain them think about them. The engineers impose artificial numbering schemes and what have you, and for want of a better system, that's what all companies do. And the problem is every company does it differently. There are some exceptions to that in industries where the industries have standards, but generally speaking, all companies do it differently. One thing that can't be argued about is geopositioning.
In the present scenario, we are seeing that building new and sustainable infrastructure is one challenge, but making the existing infrastructure is also another huge challenge. Do you think the technology that is available right now will be able to create an environment of sustainability for the future generations?
Well, what I'm noticing, I had a young engineer, this would be in 1992, and his view was that there was really no point in going into engineering because everything had already been built. I thought that was rather pessimistic, and I informed him that the existing infrastructure was made of concrete, and the useful life of concrete was only 50 years. So you have to look at replacing all of this every 2 generations. That's a huge problem right now in the developed world, the first world, if you will. North America and Europe are challenged with replacement of existing infrastructure in situ. It's got to be done in situ. And we've seen that here at the conference, the Bentley Infrastructure Conference this year. Some of the most challenging projects have been done in situ and doing it in the most affordable and most environmentally sustainable manner so that it will last, in some instances, over 100 years. So I think that can be done. We have young professionals now. We have tools that we never had 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when I was embarking on my career. So I'm very hopeful for the future in that respect.
In that sense, you have been a great encouragement to many young professionals. What is your advice to them, people who are working in the construction and infrastructure segments?
What I advise, particularly the young professionals in our company, is this. The people that know how always end up working for the people that know why. Mm-hmm. So they do have to master the basics of the profession. They have to be expert in that. But they've always got to seek out the higher calling. Why are things being done? Why is it important in the larger context? You spoke a moment ago of sustainability. Well, that's important for us to have a sane environment to live in, both for ourselves and for our children. So understand first and foremost why we're doing things.
I think that is the best advice for any professional, to look at the larger picture and see the purpose in what they are doing. Thank you so much.